Welcome back to Beauty Lovers Channel.
This episode may contain content that is not suitable for children.
So, I just found out, sorry for the burp, but natural body reaction, that there's a Haiti Trust for the libraries at the university and other libraries where they're scanning books for you to check out, but not the physical copy. This is crucial because this is where they're going to come in and rearrange things and what they want you to read or what they don't want you to read. It's crazy because we're coming into an era where history is rewriting itself, and there's going to become a time where you're not even going to get to check out the Bible. You're not going to be able to read the Bible. And that's what it's all basically coming to. Nobody's going to be able to have a physical copy in their home. You're not going to be able to congregate as a church member or in a church. It's going to be illegal to even read the Bible. And that's what this is all coming to. And not just that, but many experiments done on the human population have been recorded and wrote down in some of these old ass books that nobody's checked out since 1989 and ain't able to get an actual physical copy to read. Let's say this book right here. Let's say this was from the 40s. You're not going to be able to flip through the pages of a book anymore. This book right here is probably on a shelf somewhere in a library, and you're not going to be able to check it out. You're not going to be able to physically put this in your home. You're not going to physically be able to read anything about the Bible or any of these old-time experiments they've done on people. Why do you think they would make a Haiti Trust to scan every book, but you can check out the online copy, but not the physical copy? And that pisses me off because I'm a book reader. I love reading. And that fucks me out of reading books. That fucks you out of reading books. That fucks out everybody from reading books. And they want to keep bringing up the C-19. Can't say the whole word because then my fucking YouTube video will be restricted and won't be able to be posted. But because of the Truth Media, or I can't think of it, but I'll put clips of them, and I'm using it for educational purposes, so you can literally see what the hell I'm fucking talking about, because their videos are so gorgeous. I'm just saying, their applications of what they do to edit their videos is magnificent. They are a great team, husband and wife, who research and do videos, which I love, because if I didn't watch this video, I would have not had no clue about what was going on. So check it out.
Versus hanging out, but not the point. Now you can only pick the books up. Okay, fine. However, they now have an agreement because of the Hathi Trust that they may not lend any physical copies of books that the Hathi Trust has in their digital collection. Isn't that interesting?
What'd you need books for? Just want to study up on some things.
They now have an agreement through the Hathi Trust, and because of their participation in the Hathi Trust, which generally speaking has knitted together a network of primarily universities across the country using this, because they're allowing access to their digital collections, they are no longer allowing physical copies of books to be lent out to the library. It isn't that my local university library themselves have decided it's not a good idea to lend out physical books, although they're delivering mail and packages and boxes on a daily basis, and they've told the country that this thing won't be spread that way, and it's fine to get your mail and your packages, but they've somehow decided books are an issue. Yeah, books. Always spreading the plague. Books, always an epidemic, right? But now they may not lend out physical copies of books that have been scanned by this Hathi Trust digital library collection. And that definitely gives me pause. Now, before I go any further, I would say there's a lot of good things about the Hathi Digital Temporary Access Service Agreement. And this went through August 6, 2020, or at least it was updated then. And they're saying that this emergency temporary access agreement is due to the unexpected disruption from this pandemic and the fact that they're not letting people into libraries with books of all things, but you go to grocery stores, you go to retail stores, you go out in public, but with a mask. You know, you can't just go into a library with a mask. The books are tainted just as it is. So since this is an unprecedented emergency of books, they have made it allowable for all these universities to have their students, staff, and faculty log in and search these, with the proviso that they may not check out any physical books to any students, faculty, or staff.
What'd you need books for? Just want to study up on some things.
Why? Well, supposedly they've interpreted it that somehow protects them on copyright, because they have copyrighted materials amongst their materials in their collection, and because they could potentially be sued by someone who says that's not all right. They've made what I find to be very strange an agreement with these universities that is a one-for-one. If there's a title and that library has one copy of it, one student, faculty, or staff from their domain may log in and use that book at a time. And if another student has a report on the same book or something like that, they have to wait in line to get access to the book until the other person's done using it, and they're limited to an hour, so on and so forth. It's a one-to-one copy on the member library shelf, one individual access to the digital copy, and if there's two copies on the shelf, then two users from that university can use it at a time. Lovely concept, since obviously one of the promises of this digital world is that information is mirrored. It's copied an infinite number of times. You don't even have to run a copy through a copy machine. You don't have to have someone sit there and write it out. There's no cost involved. These files, once they're up there, can be distributed almost an infinite number of time, only with respect to the servers, right? So why are they limiting the number of copies that could be accessed to the physical books? I find it really strange. And they're saying that it has something to do with protecting their copyright. And so lending a physical copy of a book from a library that was set up to give the public access to books and to allow interested parties to come in and peruse materials under some basic general, guidelines, has been suspended. Pretty incredible that this has been a priority at this time with everything else going on in this supposed pandemic. You can get packages, you can get mail, not a problem, but getting a physical book, apparently that's a showstopper.